So Lehmo, you can hear him on Gold FM in the mornings on the drive breakfast. I've listened to him a few times just to see if he was good enough for the show to keep up with my calibre of, comedy. He's better. So ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves a big round of applause. Go on, give yourselves a big round of applause. Now, why don't I do that properly? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, the one and only Lehmo!
I feel horribly underdressed. But thank you for having me. I'm excited. Who said dreams don't come true? Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. What a joy to think my mum said I'd never make it. Well, look at me at the Comics Lounge on a bloody Sunday night. Stage covered in condoms and cash. Reminds me of what I got up to last night, to be honest with you. No, it is great to be, and I'm excited about this gig because I was talking to Maxie about it. And I said, are there any restrictions on what I can say? He said, go for it. You can say whatever you want. This crowd is up for everything. And I like that. I love that. Sometimes when you do comedy, you get told you can and can't say things, particularly at corporate gigs. I did a gig last year, started last year, for the Electrical Trades Union, right? Good bunch of blokes, and but they sent me a worksheet for the gig, and it had, the date, dress code, everything else, and down the bottom, it had content restrictions, and it said no, actually written on the sheet, it said no, absolutely no, pro Tony Abbott material. Who the fuck has pro Tony Abbott material? And what would pro Tony Abbott material even sound like? What's up with brown people? Mate, how's those fucking tree-hugging hippies, mate, and all that global warming bullshit, yeah? Oh, 13 of the last 14 years have been the hottest on record, yeah. Well, records have only been around for 140 years, yeah. And do you know how old Earth is? You know what Earth is? Earth is 6,000 years old, yeah. And Adam and Eve, when they started Earth, they were just wearing fig leaves, so it must have been hot back then. I've seen the pictures in the Bible. So, it is nice to be here. I'm just going to hit you with some bad news right up front. I am taken. My apologies. But she's not here tonight, so we're back on, yeah? Hello! No, my wife and I, we have a great arrangement. Oh fuck, she's here. Jesus. I was wondering where she was when I left the house. We have a great arrangement. Then that thing, where you get a free pass? Has anyone done that in their relationship? Where you get to choose someone and if ever you meet them, you're allowed to sleep with them? Yeah, we've done that. My wife, she's chosen Brad Pitt and Ryan Gosling. Yeah, good choices, I think you'll agree. So if ever she meets them and the opportunity presents itself, she's allowed to sleep with them. And I just have to deal with it because they are the rules of the game. Yeah. And I've... I had no idea my wife was here. I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night. My wife, as I said, has chosen Brad Pitt and Ryan Gosling, so if ever she meets them, the opportunity presents itself, she's allowed to sleep with them, and I just have to deal with it, because they are the rules of the game. And I've chosen the slut that lives next door. And as it stands, I'm on the winning side of that ledger. Yes. Choose second is my advice. It's all going well. We're actually not married, oddly enough. We had a commitment ceremony in Bali, is what we did. and we'll get married in Australia when everyone can fucking get married in Australia. So that's where we stand. Here's a point, right? So we've all said something along the way, I'm sure, about gay marriage in Australia and how it's a joke that one rule doesn't fit all in this country. But, sorry? It's a very fucking valid point you make. I mean, it's not funny, but it's a good point. Much like the point I'm about to make, it's not funny, but it's a good point, right? Is that, you need to appeal to the politicians on the right, okay? And for too long, we've been appealing to their sense of fairness and kindness, yeah? And it's not their strong points. They don't understand, they get confused, but what they love is fucking money. There was a research I read last week that said that in the UK, the average amount spent on a straight wedding is $50,000. The average amount spent on a gay wedding is $100,000. The wedding industry in Australia is worth $4 billion a year. You bring in gay marriage, that fucker's worth $8 billion a year. So appeal to their hip pocket, they might get interested. Anyway, the other point I made to my wife is I said, well, if you get married, you've got to sign a contract for life. For fucking life. I said to my wife, if we're going to have a modern marriage, we should sign a contract for 3 or 4 years and then renegotiate. And she said, in that case, can we have annual reviews? I said, I dream of an annual review because right now I'm getting reviewed every fucking day of the week. If I could push that shit out of the 12-month mark, that'd be a joy. And I know what I'd put in my renegotiation. I would limit her to the purchase of 1 cushion per month. She has a cushion addiction and I do not understand. They just appear out of fucking nowhere. So where did that come from? I don't know. What do? Do they fill a hole in your heart? Is it where you rest your broken dreams? Don't get me started with the pillows on the bed. I walk into the bedroom, there are 35 pillows on either side of the bed. How many fucking eggs do you think I got? Now I have to go to bed half an hour early to get the pillows off the bed to get to bed on time. You can blindfold yourself in our house, run in any direction, and you will not get hurt. If a plane crashed into our house, it'd bounce off. What I'd also put in my renegotiation is next time we move house, I'm in charge. We moved house recently. Gee, you learn a lot about each other when you move house as a couple, don't you? The main thing I learned when we moved house as a couple is that everything that I own is shit. It's all shit! I had no idea until she told me, but it's all shit. She threw out, get this, she threw out all my stubby holders because she said they're ugly. They're ugly, I'm throwing them out. Yeah, but she's got 10 casserole dishes that are all apparently required items. Yeah. I drink beer 5 nights a week. She hasn't cooked a casserole in 4 fucking years. Just not fair. It's good, but it is always nice to learn things about each other. We were sitting at home recently, and I said to her, honey, why don't we, as a beautiful couple, sit on the couch together, and watch the cricket? And she looked at me and she said, I freaking hate the cricket. I said, well, what are we going to do then? And she said, let's watch Project Runway All-Stars. I said, I fucking hate Project Runway All-Stars. And she said, no, you don't. You love it. So we watched Project Runway All-Stars. Apparently I love it. I had no idea. Also, in my renegotiation, I would insist that we have a toilet brush in our house. We do not have a toilet brush in our house. No toilet brush, because my wife said, It's disgusting because you get the toilet brush and you clean the toilet, and then when you put it back in the corner of the bathroom, it's still got little poop bits on it. And they sit there in the corner of the bathroom, and that's disgusting, having little poo bits just permanently sitting there in the corner of the bathroom. Yeah, what apparently isn't disgusting is me going to the toilet, then wrapping toilet paper around my hand and reaching into the bowl. Yeah. Apparently that's fucking cherry ripe, that is. We're going well. Also in our renegotiation, I would ban all future trips to IKEA. Has a couple ever left IKEA happier than when they fucking walked in? No. Because they walk you in fucking circles, don't they? They fucking hypnotise you. So you can't get out of the fucking place once you're in. Everyone's walking around in a daze, making spite purchases because they're fighting with that fucking partner. I got into rugs and textiles. I saw 6 blokes that looked like Tom Hanks off Castaway. They've been in there for years. Down in outdoor furniture, I saw 5 kids that were born in the fucking store, begging for food and change. So we've got pet issues in our house as well. We've got 2 cats. Cats. They give you nothing. And I try to build a bridge with the cats. I say, Lehmo, build a bridge, get over it, befriend a cat. And you know when you try, like, you know when a cat's walking past you and I think, get in there, Lehmo, give it a little. You know when you bend down to pat a cat, right? It does that really insulting arch of the back. Hey, fuck off! I was leaving for work recently, right? It's 4:45 in the morning, I'm going for breakfast radio. And I lean over to give my wife a kiss. Say, see you later, sweetheart. There's a dog on the bed, I pat the dog, I say, see you later, dog. There's a cat on the bed, and then I pat the cat, I say, see you, cat. And I go to walk out the door, and my wife says, hey, where are you going? I said, well, I'm going to work. She goes, you can't say goodbye to the dog and one cat and not say goodbye to the other cat in the corner of the room. I said, are you fucking serious? She said, yes, I am. They'll get a complex and lose confidence. I'd hate it to lose confidence ahead of all the job interviews it's got this week. And we got this dog. This little staffy, it's so freaking beautiful. I could put a piece of bread either side and eat the fucking thing. I love it so much, right? And it's just a freaking joy, but the difference between my wife and I is that I know that it's a dog. She thinks it's a human. Actually, we put a little the harness on it when we walk it, right? I overheard her the other day. She's putting the harness on the dog, and she goes, "Here we go. Just put your arm through there." So it's not a fucking arm, babe. It's a leg. She goes, "The little arm. It's got little arms. Cute little arms." When we first got the dog, we got the puppy home, right? And my wife said, can you go and get some dog food? I said, absolutely. So I go down to the shop, I come back, I've got some tins of Pow. And you know why I bought Pow? Because it's fucking dog food. And I walk in and my wife's like, oh my God. What? Are you planning on treating this thing like an animal? She will only eat science diet. So I have to go fucking science. I'm going to take out a loan, then I'm going to go buy a science diet. So we feed it science diet for 8 months, right? Then one day, it gets sick, one day. And my wife, the vet, she says, it's the science diet. Science diet made the dog sick. I said, honey, when you're at work, our dog is in the backyard eating cat shit. And when it's not eating cat shit, it's eating its own ass. But apparently it's a science diet that made it sick. So now we feed it chicken breast and rice. Yeah, dog eats better than me. Last week I had fucking crackers and dip for dinner while the dog's eating chicken breast and rice. This dog's one step away from getting a voucher to Vue de Monde. Even then it'll be like, is Shannon in the kitchen? Oh, thing is so spoiled. We went on holidays last year and I said to my wife, what are we going to do with the dog when we go on holidays? So we had a holiday earlier in the year and we sent the dog to the Gold Coast to my wife's mum, right, for a week, and we got the dog back from the Gold Coast. Never again. We get the dog back from the Gold Coast. It's got a fucking sleeve tattoo. It's wearing an Ed Hardy t-shirt with gold chains. Wants to go back for schoolies. So my wife said, no, there's a Pets Hotel, it's in South Melbourne, and that's where we'll send the dog. I said, great, and I pictured in my head a Pets Hotel, so I pictured like a huge warehouse full of cages, and there'll be dogs in the cages, and then they'll feed them and take it for a walk every now and again. Right. Do people know this place? Right? This place, you know that the one I'm talking about. We turn up to this fucking joint, right? We pull up out the front, it's got a valet. It's got a valet because, God forbid, the dog have to walk from the car park to the front entrance. So we pull up at the valet, there's a bunch of Japanese dogs there with little cameras around their necks. All these British dogs, sunburnt and drunk. Afghan dogs that wouldn't let them in. We walk into this place, right, and the reception, it looks exactly like a hotel reception, right? We assign the dog's name, Bunny. Now, in the middle of this, it's a huge warehouse, and in the middle, there's a massive play area, possibly the size of this comedy space here, right? And they call it Central Bark, right? And that's where the dogs play during the day, and you can pay extra for an executive suite, or they call it a pet executive suite, that overlooks Central Park. Because we all know how dogs love a view, right? You can pay extra again for a flat screen in your dog's room. A flat screen so you can Skype it while you're away. Yeah, we Skype the dog, it's there in the room, a bit of private time, just eating its ass. It's ridiculous. You know that photo of all the dogs drinking whiskey and playing poker? That was taken in this hotel. You can also pay extra for a thing called Super Yappy Fun Time. And that's where someone who works there goes up and sees your dog every night for half an hour and gives it some extra playtime. A little cuddle, scratches its belly. We finished checking the dog in and I said to my wife, you go on the holiday, I'm fucking staying here. I want some Super Yappy Fun Time. So exciting time. So my wife's pregnant and we've got a baby due in 6 weeks and yeah, thank you. Very excited. I particularly am super excited because I am right at the very, very top of the shortlist of potential fathers. So yeah. Gary Lyons, number 2 on the list. Nervous about that. It's good. And people keep saying to my wife, my God, you've got that baby glow, you look amazing. And it's true, she does look amazing, but I don't think the baby deserves the credit. She is a pisshead who hasn't had a drink for 7 months. I think that'll put a glow in all of us, wouldn't it? So I want, and I'd like to have, I want a girl, so we can put her into the child beauty pageant. Just our own little honey boo-boo. Who's in the child beauty pageants? Yeah, I mean, it is a sad day in this country when a 5-year-old girl can't wax her eyebrows, slap onto the fake tan, a completely inappropriate outfit and strut awkwardly down a catwalk to Christina Aguilera's Dirty while her mum's yelling at her, fucking smile! That's the start in life we'd like to be able to give. And I'd like a funny kid as well. I do these kids chats for the project where I go to different schools and talk to kids about a whole range of different topics. But the funniest shit that kids ever say, we can never play on the project because it's completely inappropriate. And my favourite, right, we were down in Geelong, with this primary school in Geelong. I'm talking, and the topic was careers. Yeah, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do your parents do, etc. This girl, she cues a button. She's about 6, and I said to her, "Oh, what does your dad do for a living?" And she said, "My dad has a shop." And I said, "Cool. What does your dad do in the shop?" She said, "He sells secret herbs." I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Do you like hanging out in the shop with your dad?" She goes, "I love hanging out in the shop with Dad." I said, "Oh yeah, why is that?" She goes, "When I hang out in the shop with Dad, he just smokes some of his secret herbs and then we eat ice cream and chocolate and watch cartoons on YouTube." Yeah, your dad's a pothead. There's a teacher in the background going, "Oh." So I'm going to take the kid outside before I can buy an ounce off her. Thank you very much, guys. You're fantastic. Really appreciate it. What a great night. Good on everyone. Good on you all for being here. Thank you very much. I'll give you back to Maxie, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.